Kia ora, I'm Erin J. Doyle. Welcome to my channel. My camera is crooked. I think it's better. What am I doing? Yes, first I'm apologising for the possible background noise you will hear. So cheering, music, rain, all of these things are out of my control. I don't know what's going on out there. Obviously the other humans are choosing to interact and socialise. That is none of my business. I'm staying inside like a normal person. I felt like doing a tag today, so I'm going to be doing the Worthy Words tag. I will leave a link to the original creators video as well as a list of the questions in the description below. Right, so question the first. Do you have any foreign language books in your collection? I have a lot of translated works, but everything is in English because I don't have sufficient mastery of another language to read in it. I do have 3 manga up here which I accidentally ordered a German translation of instead of an English translation, and I haven't done anything about that. I can just, with a lot of struggle, figure out what's going on, but yeah, I can't really read them, so I should probably just rehome them, but I haven't got around to that. Question 2. Do you have non-fiction books in your collection? If so, what are some of your favourites? I have a couple of favourites. A book that I recommend to every student I have who seems like they'll take a book recommendation, and many of my colleagues, A Guinea Pig's Guide to the History of Biology. I do really highly recommend this. It starts off before Darwin and talks about some of the early theories and the evidence that people had that took them down the wrong path, and then how they kind of eventually got onto the correct path. Each chapter is about a different model organism, or an organism that was studied. So obviously guinea pigs, but also passion fruit, corn, mice, etc. And they talk about the major scientific, or rather specifically biological, discoveries that were made because of the experiments that were done with that organism, as well as giving you information on the historical context and a little bit about the personal lives of the researchers. So it gives you a really good understanding of kind of the history of biological sciences and its rise. Originally there weren't the 3 big sciences that we have today. Like, when you talk about sciences now, you're either talking about physics, chemistry, or biology, but a couple hundred years ago biology wasn't on that list. And so this kind of shows the story of how biology became a major science. I also really like Stiff, The Curious Lives of Human Cadavers. I would also very strongly recommend this one for people who are kind of interested in the more gruesome, the dead writers. It has sections on like organ donation, cannibalism, some early kind of gruesome experimentation with things like trying to stitch decapitated heads onto live bodies and stuff. So it's fascinating, but yeah, pretty like, oh god, people were gross and insane. But yeah, super interesting. Highly recommend for authors of the gruesome. I'm going to stop repeating myself now and move on to question 3. What was your favourite book when you were a child? Do you still have it? Not a book I ever remember being read, but it's a book that I probably assimilated from an older sibling and can't possibly part with. Question 4. What is your favourite book to movie adaptation? I'm gonna go with Coraline. I think the movie version of this was beautifully done. I think it kept everything that mattered, and the artistic style of the stop motion worked really well with the story. It was brilliant. Number 5. Do you have a favourite screenwriter? No. I don't even pay attention to the screenwriter. Number 6. Do you have a favourite lyricist or songwriter? No. I think, in the words of Kurt Cobain, the music is first, lyrics are secondary, so it doesn't matter how good the lyrics are if the music is shit. This is actually something I apply to my writing as well, where in my view the story would be the music and the message or theme would be the lyrics. Like, it doesn't matter how great of a message or a theme you're exploring if the story you're telling it in is a piece of shit. Number 7, do you have any poetry books in your collection? If so, which is your favourite? I do have some poetry, most of which is still unread because I read poetry very, very slowly. However, I do have a favourite, which is Nothing Is Okay by Rachel Wiley. She's excellent, just so good, highly recommend. And our final question, do you have Shakespeare, Jane Austen, Tolkien or Agatha Christie in your collection? So, no Shakespeare, no Austen. I have The Hobbit, but I rehomed the rest of the Lord of the Rings trilogy because I got as far as the Two Towers and just realised the will to carry on was so incredibly low, there was no point. So those are gone. I just kept The Hobbit for sentimental reasons because I really enjoyed it when it was read to me when I was a child. And Agatha Christie, I have one. I have Murder on the Orient Express. That's the tag. I will leave a list of the books I talked about in the description if you're interested in them. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a like, and if you're new around here, maybe consider hitting subscribe and ringing that bell so you can stay up to date. And if you'd like to do this tag, let me know down below so I can go and check out your video as well. Bye!